Will he be able to fight his ticket in court? Let's go with that.
Yes.
He will. Short and sweet. All right, back to the phones. What have we got here? Julie from Red Deer is calling in. Julie, go ahead.
Hi, Jason Kennedy. Thank you for taking my question. So I have asked many times, emailed you about what's going on with me, okay? The Alberta health benefits, the thresholds need to be changed. It's been more than 10 years, okay? I have contacted the supervisor of the Alberta health benefit, and she says there's no way she can make exemptions for me until the thresholds need to be changed. A bill needs to be passed. A little background. I have glaucoma. I've had it since I was born. I'm paying my medication out of pocket because I got rejected off of the Alberta Works white plastic card. And I have a 4-year-old son who has an astigmatism, who may require glasses. I simply cannot afford that out of my own pocket. I have bipolar depression. I'm paying that medication out of my own pocket. So I'm taking this money is coming from me taking care of my son. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that all I need is a little bit of help from the government. Okay, everything's going up in price. You guys expect a single mom with a child. I did the calculations. $26,000 a year. That's $12.50 an hour. That's under minimum wage. Everything's going up in price. Why isn't anything being done about it?
Okay. Thank you, Julie. And I'm sorry if I haven't responded to your emails. Just so everybody knows, we do get about 1,000 a day in my office, and it's just not possible for me personally to respond to everyone. I just don't have enough hours in the day, and understand the trouble you're going through here. For people who are not aware, the Alberta adult health benefit is there for folks who have left AISH or income support, but they're still have a lower income, and they need some support in terms of health benefits. And as you mentioned, a parent with one child, the cap to receive the benefit is $26,000. And it really, I believe Alberta is just about the only province with a benefit like that applies to people who are not on income support. So we already have a relative to the rest of Canada, a fairly generous approach. It's there to support people who are not on for supplementary benefits. But of course, your basic health care is covered by Medicare. But thank you for raising that, Julie. It's one of many issues I need to be aware of and be mindful of it for the future. Thank you.
Mr. Kenny, one more question before we have to wrap up the show. And this was a text message that came in. When does the province plan to collect our own taxes and form our own provincial police force?
Well, on the first point, I don't think collecting our own taxes makes much sense for Albertans unless the feds let us collect federal income tax at the same time. Because if we pulled to Quebec right now and just set up a Alberta Revenue Agency, it would cost us $200 million a year. And the only impact is that we would be collecting Alberta income tax, meaning people would have to fill out a second tax return, keep a separate second set of records. This would be very profitable for tax lawyers and accountants, but a very big nuisance for most people having to fill out both a federal and a provincial form. The federal Conservatives promised in the last election to give Revenue Quebec the ability to collect federal income tax and then have one unitary form collected by the provincial agency. If we see a future federal government allow that, we will get the same right and implement it here. So Alberta will create a revenue agency, and then we can remit federal tax revenues for income tax to the feds.
All right.
On the second issue, we are in deep consultations with municipalities, First Nations, and the general public on the big report on a prospective Alberta provincial police force. I personally very much support the idea for reasons I've articulated, and I do note that a all-party panel of the BC legislature just voted in favor of the idea of ending the RCMP contract and coming to a BC provincial police force. So I think there's growing momentum in that direction across the country.
Premier Kenny, thanks for joining us again today.
Thank you, Wayne.
We'll do this again next Saturday morning at the same time. I am Wayne Nelson, and you've been listening to Your Province, Your Premier.
The biggest season of Celebrity IOU will make you... wow! It's a star-studded give back to help the special people who touch their lives.
I'm the twin brother that y'all didn't know about.
Get ready